Obsessed. This is Rhonda, and in this video I'm reviewing the Modern Goddess Tarot deck by Cecilia Lattari, an actress and teacher who helps people connect with their most authentic self. And Petra Braun is an Australian artist who specializes in vibrant and playful digital illustrations inspired by strong women, the female body, animals, plants, and more. For those of you who, like me, prefer to clearly see the cards in the deck before you decide to buy it to make sure you resonate with the art and the messages, I'll be showing you every card in this deck. I'll also give you a basic overview of the guidebook and read a couple of sample in-depth card descriptions so you can get a feel for the deeper meanings and the author's perspectives. Let's get started. The card, deck, and guidebook are contained in this very sturdy drawer box that slides out. The cards are kept nice and protected in another lightweight box. There are 78 cards in the deck, just like the traditional tarot. Gotta make sure I'm getting all the cards out. The cards in the guidebook are 3 by 5 inches. The cards are glossy or semi-glossy. There's a bit of a glare there. And the guidebook is full color with images of the cards on them and with teal colored pages that match the box. As you see, the major arcana get a full page with the picture and the minor arcana get a smaller page with a paragraph description. Now let's have a look at the cards, but first I want to note that Lattari has dedicated this deck to Pamela Colman Smith, who is the Smith in Rider-Waite-Smith, who most tarot enthusiasts know as the creators of this deck. This deck right here, the Rider Tarot deck, which is pretty much considered the standard in the tarot, as most people base their tarot card illustrations and designs and meanings on this deck. Here's some of the cards. Just in case you're not familiar with this deck that Pamela designed, and as the deck's illustrator, Pamela Colman received, unfortunately, very little payment and no royalties for her artwork. So not only is Pamela Colman Smith, this deck is dedicated to her, the card designs also pay homage to her by using very similar imagery. The author of this deck also dedicated one of the major arcana cards, the Magician, to Colman Smith, as we'll see in a moment. So the deck features ancient goddesses and a diverse array of contemporary iconic women associated with each major arcana card. But those goddesses and contemporary women, their names are not written on the cards, so you have to go find them in the guidebook. But as I show you each major arcana card, I will also show you and share with you the names of the goddesses and icons associated with each card. So let's look at the cards. Here is what the backs of the cards look like. And on the front, there is the number right at the top centered, and at the bottom portion, there's a white strip on all of the cards with the name of the card. Okay, so I'm gonna have to hold the cards kind of angled so that you can see them without the glare. 0, the Fool, is represented by the goddess child Persephone, who explored the unknown subterranean world, along with Amelia Earhart, the first woman to fly a plane solo across the Atlantic. Number 1, the Magician card, is Morgan Le Fay, a supernatural being and magician from the legends of King Arthur, along with Pamela Colman Smith, who I just noted a moment ago, who illustrated the famous Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck. Two, the High Priestess, is Isis, along with contemporary performance artist Marina Abramovich. 3, the Empress, is represented by the Tibetan goddess Tara and the amazing Beyonce. 4, the Emperor Pele. The Emperor is represented by Pele, the Hawaiian goddess of volcanoes and rage, along with Rosa Parks, the 1960s civil rights activist who refused to give up her seat on the bus during segregation and started the civil rights movement. 5, the Hierophant is represented by the goddess Hera and the late brilliant contemporary architect Zaha Hadid. The Lovers, Aphrodite, the goddess of love, along with the bold and fierce Grace Jones, an iconic performer who is without peer. The Chariot, Cybele, the great mother who created the universe without the help of male strength, and Sue Austin, a performer with disability who created poetic performances using her wheelchair. Strength is Oya, a goddess from the West African Yoruba tradition who presides over unexpected transformation, along with Simona Kosek, a journalist and scientist, among other things, who lived for more than 30 years with wild animals, taking care of them. 9. The Hermit is Hecate, the goddess of crossroads, and Vivian Meyer, the famous photographer whose works were only discovered after her death. 10. The Wheel of Fortune is represented by the 3 Fates, Clotho, Lachesis, and Atropos, who spun the destiny of each human, along with the Bronte sisters who shaped their destiny through writing. Justice is Athena, the goddess of knowledge and strategy, and Frances Glessner Lee, the mother of forensic science. The Hangman is Medusa, who would turn to stone anyone who'd look upon her who lacked their own independent vision while protecting those who ventured into the wild. Along with Helen Keller, who was blind and deaf but eventually became a writer, university professor, and activist thanks to her teacher, Anne Sullivan. Death is Sarasvati, the Indian goddess connected to transformation, and choreographer Martha Graham, who revolutionized contemporary dance. 14. Temperance is the Mesopotamian goddess Inanna and Coco Chanel. 15. The devil is represented by the Greek goddess Baubo, with the face on her stomach. She also represents sacred joy, and she is also represented by pop music icon Madonna. 16, the Tower, which is also on the cover of the deck. This is the goddess Kali, the goddess of destruction, also represented by the artist Frida Kahlo, who rebelled against death by living fully. The star is Nut, the Egyptian goddess of the sky, and Margarita Hack, the astrophysicist and first Italian woman to lead an astronomical observatory. The moon is Artemis, the goddess of forests and moon, and Margaret Atwood, author of The Handmaid's Tale. The sun is represented by Freya, the Celtic goddess of love, fertility, and war, along with Oprah Winfrey, the first African-American woman multimillionaire. 20. Judgment is the goddess Lilith, a symbol of feminism, along with Angela Davis, the Black rights activist from the 1960s, still to this day. 21, the world is Gaia, goddess of the earth, and environmental activist Greta Thunberg. So next we're going to take a look at the minor arcana. And by the way, if you're interested and you're liking this deck, go ahead and follow the link in the description box to get yourself a copy of the Modern Goddess Tarot deck. So we're going to start with the wands. This is Ace, 2 of Wands, 3 of Wands, 4 of Wands, 5 of Wands, 6 of Wands, 7 of Wands, 8 of Wands, 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands. And I want to note that as you notice in the minor arcana cards, including the court cards, you no longer have specific goddesses associated with each card, neither on the cards nor in the guidebook. But what's really cool is that once you get to the court cards in each suit, they're all represented by one woman at different stages in her life. So here you have the Page of Wands. This is her, the same girl we're going to see again, but she's a child. Here is the Page. Then Knight of Wands, looks like she's a young adult or teenager. Queen of Wands, she looks like she's enjoying her best life, maybe middle age, maybe 30s. And then we have the Crone of Wands instead of the King, and she is an elder. Now we're in the swords. Ace, 2 of Swords, 3, 4 of Swords, 5 of Swords, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Page, Knight, Queen, Crone. Now we're moving into the cups. Ace of Cups, 2 of Cups, 3 of Cups, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 'Page, Knight, Queen, Crone. And now we're going to move into the Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Page, Knight, Queen, Crone, and there we have it. So now we have the guidebook. We'll take a quick look at that. After the table of contents and introduction, unlike most guidebooks, this tarot guidebook jumps right into the card meanings pretty quickly. There is a section on how to read and interpret the cards in various spreads. Those are towards the end of the book, along with the author and illustrator's bios. So, each major arcana card is given a 2-page spread with a full color image of the card and full page description, which closes with several bold questions to ask yourself or the person you're reading for, while the minor arcana cards are given 1 page each for both the image of the card and a 1-page. Some are longer than others, but a 1-paragraph description. Sometimes they're shorter, sometimes they're longer. So now I'm going to read 2 samples from the guidebook. First, we've got the Hierophant, and that's on page 25. These little narrow books are a little bit hard to page through. Okay, got the Hierophant represented by the goddess Hera. The Hierophant card speaks of law, order, and social relations, just like the goddess Hera, who is the archetype of marriage and relational order. Hera is a jealous goddess who becomes destructive when faced with infidelity. And in the card, we also find a seed of crisis. The number 5 is the number of instability, following the stability of number 4. The relationship with the other, human or divine, bears a crisis that can be overcome only through faith. This recalls the work of Zaha Hadid, who challenged the rules of architecture with her innovative creations, maintaining a balance between vision and stability, determination and faith. Zaha Hadid challenges the architectural conventions, placing them in crisis while also putting them back together, bringing form and structure to her ideas. One of the reasons I chose this card is because I love the architecture of Zaha Hadid. It's like curvy, it looks very organic and feminine. So the questions that the Hierophant card would ask of you are, what do you truly believe in? What are the messages that you don't want to listen to right now because they could lead to a crisis? How can you reclaim your faith after a difficult moment? Okay, and once again, this is the Hierophant card. And the next card we're going to look up from the minor arcana is the 9 of Cups, and that's on page 82. So just happened to open up to the right page. 9 of Cups, you see the small picture of the card there. The pleasure of staying with what you have. This is what the 9 of Cups tells us. Simply be, and be grateful for what we have. Like in the 6 of Cups, In the Nine of Cups, we also find an invitation to live daily life to its fullest, the moment that becomes precious because it is simple. We are not yet at the 10. We share what happens a second before achieving our desire, before our friends come over for dinner, before we start that book we really want to read. The Nine of Cups says, you are enough. Things are fine as they are. And here once again is the Nine of Cups card. Okay, so that is my review of the Modern Goddess Tarot. And remember, if you would like to add this deck to your collection, click the link in the description box where you can purchase it. I'm also going to be periodically adding links to my other reviews of goddess-focused tarot and oracle decks, so check those out. And if you like this review, please leave a comment, hit the like, subscribe, and notification buttons, and check out my other videos. Thank you so much for watching Deck Obsessed. This is Rhonda wishing you a beautiful day. See you next time.